Hello, everybody. Welcome into the Mountaineers Now postgame show. I'm Schuyler, Callihan. That is Christopher Hall live from the WVU Coliseum at the very top of the building. But he got his steps in. But hey,
Literally.
what literally got his steps in and feeling it for sure. But West Virginia winners in this one, 70-57 over Jacksonville State. They pick up their second win of the season, bouncing back from that disappointing loss on Friday night to Monmouth. A quick look here at the numbers. West Virginia shot the ball much better than they did a couple of days ago. 51% from the field, 42% from three. The other day it was 31 and 21. They took care of the ball once again. And a change in the starting lineup. Ofri Neve getting in there in place of Seth Wilson. Only had 3 points on the night, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. And your team leaders in terms of points, Quinn Slazinski and Kobe Johnson. How about that? 19 points each. Chris, what just initial thoughts from this one? The good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between.
Really, we'll start with positive. Start on a good note here. Offensively, definitely more patient offense on the offensive end. Still struggle kind of getting out of the offense when that first or second read isn't there. A little bit of panic. It happens every year around college basketball. Happens under the hug teams, and they kind of just go for a screen and force things. They don't have really the talent. You look at Quinn with his size and the way he can kind of handle the ball. He's usually going to have an advantage. We'll have to wait to see once we enter the Big 12. But I just thought they were more so just patient. The Monmouth game, they started off really frantic on the offensive end, trying to push the pace. You can see they backed off the pace. Obviously they want to keep the pace up. If Chris is once he enters the lineup, you'll probably see them run the floor a little bit better. He has great vision in the open floor. But right now, I think you just got to be patient. Play the half-court game. Get in your offense as early as you can. Jacksonville State provided a little bit of three-quarter court pressure at times, made him wind down the clock to kind of get him in that frantic mode a little bit. But I thought they stayed poised. Seth Wilson came off the bench. Eiler spoke about it after the game. He didn't necessarily lose his starting spot other than he can come into the game and correct the mistakes on the floor. So just trying to cycle through the lineup there. Defensively, saw a lot of 2-3 zone. Obviously, Jesse played it for 4 years at Syracuse, kind of captain back there, communicator. Obviously, trying to save their legs a little bit because really you only got 6 guys that are productive right now on this roster. So there's a lot of work to be done on both ends of the floor. This is just Jacksonville State, but it's a start. But the first 2 games, they were a little frantic. It's not what you want to see, careless with the ball, but they're just more poised. And I think this is something they can build off. Yes, it's just Jacksonville State, like I said, but this is something they can build off of, take the positive, see how they can just slow the pace down until they get their guys back.
Yeah, and I think that you hit it right there with the 2-3 zone. Like you're trying to save legs, but also too you're trying to keep guys out of foul trouble. And when you're playing man to man, you have a tendency to be out of position more. You have a tendency to be more aggressive, more reachy, more grabby. Where you're in that when you're sitting in that 2-3 zone, you've got a little bit of help. You're only guarding a certain area of the floor. So I think that's a big part of it too. When you have somebody like Jesse that's had that experience, kind of anchoring that thing in the middle and the back, I think it makes all the sense in the world, especially with the depth issues that they have. So I would expect that's probably going to end up being the primary defense that this team plays for much of the season. Wouldn't you think?
Well, it's a wait and see. I don't know if you're gonna get by with that a lot in the Big 12. There's so many athletes that can get in the teeth of that zone, kick it out to shooters. So I have to be
Yeah.
wait. We have to see about a Cooper Cook if he comes back this season. Kind of what they'll be able to do. You don't have a lot of size. Obviously, you don't have a lot of depth in that front court. So I think it's a building base for more zone in the future. I don't know, like 1-3-1. I know that was popular under Beeline and Huggins. He kind of incorporate within his system. We'll kind of wait and see what they can do because once you get in the Big 12 play, it can be gimmicky at times, but I think the best pass for them on that end is just kind of mix up defenses. Um, Play a little man, throw a 3-2, throw a 2-3, just do kind of whatever you can, and maybe even a triangle and two. We'll have to wait and see what kind of what the scheme is. And again, we'll have to wait to see what the roster is.
Right.
Still waiting on Battle. Probably not going to make it. And again, hey, he may not play. That's a serious, serious condition. He collapsed on the floor. So I would be surprised if he's back. What doctor's going to sign off on that, really. So we'll have to
Yeah.
wait and see on that. And, just seeing them, we're probably looking 30, 35 minutes every game. And we're only in November.
Yeah.
It's
It's a long, grueling
it's going to
season.
be a long grind for these guys, and I'm sure they would
Oh,
like to play a lot more zone. But if you're just starting off with the base of 2-3, you really kind of want to not necessarily perfect it, because I don't know if you can really perfect in such a short span. It's not something they were really practicing this offseason, maybe a little bit since Jesse was here. But if that's something they're going to lean to, I think how much success, when Boeheim and Syracuse had success, they had a lot of length, especially on that forward spot. You do have Slazinski down there. JoJo definitely has some length, but I just don't think they have enough big pieces off that block to really, kind of get to that corner, shorten that a little bit. It is just really wait. It's only third game. There's so much more that they got to improve on. I mean, really on every aspect. Uh, it's not that they don't have talent, but they really have to work a lot better as a cohesive unit. And the tournament they got coming up, they could really get exposed here in the coming weeks with the Thanksgiving tournament. You got St. John's coming up as well, so it might get ugly, and it might only get uglier as the season goes on. And really, it's kind of not fair to this team, maybe even to say that this early, and it's probably really not fair to this team throughout the year with how many players are short right now.
so with Ofri, just give me your thoughts on his performance. I know he only had 3 points, but he did some other things in this game, and just the decision to put him in the lineup and bring Seth Wilson off the bench.
Yeah, again, Seth was coming off the bench to correct the mistakes in game, right? So uh, there's going to be mistakes early. Ofri, as far he just got to get his legs under him. He's quick, he's fast. He can shoot, but he's still so young. He plays a
Very
little
raw.
wild at times. He's got a high basketball IQ, but he's just got to play with his feet under him. Great vision, great team player. And Ollie's right. If he stays here and is willing to stay here, if Ollie's not here, yeah, he could be a really good ball player in the right system. He's put a little muscle on him. He can shoot, great ball handler. I would love to just kind of see him get in that, be able to do a little bit what Quinn Slazinski does, maybe as a sophomore. He's really got that kind of talent, basketball IQ. So he's got a long way to go, but what a nice addition this offseason. Him and Quinn
Yeah.
both. What great grabs this summer.
Yeah, especially late in the process too. So Kobe Johnson, obviously 19 points. This is somebody that everyone's just kind of been waiting on
Career high, yeah, it's
for
career
for
high
him
for
to just
Kebs.
for him to just emerge and be a part of this a big part
Back
of
to
this offense.
back career high. He had a career high
Yeah,
against
that's
Monmouth,
true.
broke it again tonight.
Yeah.
Kobe.
And look, West Virginia fans, and rightfully so, they kind of panicked when Kerr went out, and it does have a triple effect with the rotation and the bench and everything. But we all knew that with Kobe on the floor over Kerr, you were getting a defensive upgrade. What we thought we were going to get was a downgrade offensively, and in some ways, in aspects, you still are. But Kobe has played admirably on that end of the floor. He's taken advantage. Josh Schuyler has said time and time again, even before the Creases suspension, that he needs Kobe to be more aggressive. And this is what you would like to see here in these first couple of games before you get down to Fort Myers and play some of these more competitive teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And talked about it tonight that he has a good chance when Kirk Creaser comes back, he's going to play probably the two spot.
Yeah, makes
Lineups could
sense
get
to.
really interesting here in the coming weeks. So much to do. Wouldn't be surprised if there's more. I don't know how much more. Shouldn't say there's going to be a shakeup in the starting lineup. Wouldn't seem. Wouldn't be surprised to see some pieces move there. Mainly just Seth Wilson and Ofri, because I mean, again, I think they only really have like 6 guys right now that
Yeah.
they can truly depend on, which is crazy in 2023 in today's age. You look at the roster pregame, and Monmouth comes into town and they have a bigger roster than West Virginia. Jacksonville State comes into town has a bigger roster than West Virginia. It's crazy, sad, all in one, and they're doing their best to try to get some wins on the board. And again, hopefully, getting 3 guys back still really isn't enough for the rest of the year. They're still short with 3 guys coming back, and those are 3 potential starters right there.
Yeah.
So long way to go, one down. Lot, what is that? 28 more to go. Regular season games. Big 12 looming. A lot of tough. I think the biggest one we're all circling right is Pitt. So just if that can be your best game of the year, let it be Pitt and be happy and hold on for the rest of the season.
Yeah, you just got to make the most of it as you can, right? So, I mean, West Virginia, they'll have the next 6 days off, and then they'll head down to Fort Myers for the Fort Myers tip-off and taking on SMU, who is currently 3-1. They've beaten 3 nobodies really and lost to Texas A&M. So they'll take on SMU down there at 8:30 p.m. on FS1 next Monday night, and then they will play, I believe, the winner of Virginia and who's at Clemson, maybe.
I have no idea, to be honest.
Honestly,
I don't have it in front of me right now. I gotta hold on to the camera since I'm up here. I don't have it.
I got it right here. So they will be playing the winner of, and you feel like this is our job. We should know this stuff, but there's a lot going on.
Look,
All right.
Right now, it's focused on first game for West
Well,
Virginia,
yeah.
nothing else. We can't. I don't think we can look ahead for them as well right now. So you got to just take it one game at a time.
Virginia or Wisconsin. So either way, you're going to get a tough matchup there in Fort Myers. SMU is going to give you obviously a run for their money.
I mean that's going to be a tough game to get by. Not real optimistic about them getting by SMU at this moment. So
no, you really don't feel that way about any team at this point. But hey, it is what it is. Like you said, you can't really be mad at them. This is the situation. It is what it is. You got to make the best of it that you can, and just hope that as the season goes along, you maybe get some good news medically or in terms of eligibility, and maybe you find a way to win some games, get some confidence, and hang around until the end instead of just hoping until the end of the season gets here. So anyways, that'll do it for us here tonight. West Virginia, again, winners over Jacksonville State. They moved to 2-1 on the season, and we'll be back here. Eugene and I will be back here on Saturday night or Saturday evening as West Virginia and Cincinnati face off in the final home game of the football season. It's hard to believe that's already here, but we'll wrap that one up for you Saturday evening between the Bearcats and the Mountaineers. So thank you guys for watching. For Christopher Hall, I'm Schuyler Callihan. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Mountaineers Now and give us a follow on X at the same handle. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys here in a couple of days. Take care.